Let's look at Chapter 8, Lesson 5 Extension, Connecting Fractions and Decimals. Label these number lines using fractions and decimals. You want to work with just one or the other. Don't try to mix them. So I'm going to go ahead and label the decimal side first. I start with 137 and I end with 138. In between I can see that I'm going to be counting up by tenths because I have 3/10 and 6/10. So I'm going to count backwards and have 137 in 2/10, 137 in 1/10. Counting forward now, 137 in 4/10. And then you're going to complete going forward by adding 1/10 more. Also, a hint up here in the fraction is that each of the fractions are by tenths. So now I can go up and I can do all of my fractions where I have 137 in 1/10, 1/37 and 2/10 already there, 137 and 3/10, and you're going to be adding 1/10 more to each one. Let's move on to number 2. Again, you can tell that you're working with tenths by looking at the fraction as well as the decimal. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the decimal. I'm going to be adding 1/10 more to each one if I'm moving forward. So I have 114 and 8/10, 114 and 9/10, and then 115. Going backwards, I'm going to be subtracting 1/10, 114.6, 114 and 5/10, 114 and 4/10, and so on. Once you have your decimals, go ahead and start working up in your fractions. You know that your whole number is 114 and you're adding 1/10 more. So I have 114 and 4/10, 114 and 5/10. Keep adding 1/10 more in order to complete the rest of the top. And then for the bottom part of it, you're going to have 114 and subtract a tenth, so I have 2/10, 114 in 1/10, and 114 as your whole number. Number 3 is a bit different. You can see right here that you're going to be adding quarters, and you're going to be having some of your numbers be up into the hundredths place. So I know that 10 and 1/4 is equivalent to 10 in 25 hundredths. This is also easy to connect it to $10 and 25 cents, because if I had 1/4 of a dollar, I'd have 25 cents. Now I need 10 and a half, which would be 10 and 50 cents, or 10 and 50 hundredths, or 10 and 5/10. And I can do the same for the top. 10 and 5/10 will work perfectly. And then I have 10 and 75 hundredths. And I know that this is going to be reduced to 10 and 3/4. Find the total amount of dollars and cents. I have $1.63 plus 1/4 of a dollar. Well, if you remember, we said that 1/4 of a dollar was a quarter. So I have $1.63 and 25 cents. Line up your decimals. When you're adding, your decimal is going to come straight down. 3 plus 5 is 8, 2 plus 6 is 8, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So your total amount is $1.88. Remember your decimal. I have half of a dollar, a quarter of a dollar, and $1. I know that half of a dollar is 2 quarters, so I have 50 cents plus 1/4, which is a quarter, plus a dollar. So 50 plus 25 is 75. A dollar plus 75 cents is $1.75. 3/10 of a dollar plus $2.19. Well, I know that 3/10 of a dollar, I can take $1 and I can divide it by 10. And I know that 1 times 10 is 10. Subtract it. Bring down the 0. 10 goes into 0 0 times. So I know that each piece of $1, when I divide it into tenths, is 10 cents. But I need 3/10, which would be 3 times 10 cents, which equals 30 cents. Looking at that, I have $2.19 plus 30 cents, and I know that that would be $2.49.